Hi everyone, my name's Amanda, and this month on Building Characters, we are going to be discussing all things romantic comedies. And I figured, what's the best romantic comedy out there? The Bromance. Ah, yes, the bromance. Often played for laughs in movies or shows, but there's real deep love in there. So today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 bromances. Before we get started on my actual list, I would like to say that I do have at least one honorable mention to put out. That honorable mention would be Peter and Roman from the Hemlock Grove series. Now, I love these two. I love their relationship, but the reason they're not on my actual list is because while I do really like their relationship in the first season, the other seasons, a lot happens and things change, and to me, the relationship just doesn't feel the same. Also, they're kind of like in a polygamous relationship with this girl at one point, and I think they like all live together. So, to me, a true bromance is purely platonic. So they can't be on my list. So with that, let's get started, and at my number 5 spot, I chose House and Wilson from House MD. I feel like I can't really talk about these two without mentioning Sherlock and Watson, but the reason I chose House and Wilson over them is mostly because I know more about House. I watched the whole show as opposed to not really watching all of the Sherlock series. Also, while Wilson is more empathetic, like Watson is to Sherlock, he does actually participate in like pranks, bets, and stuff like that. And to me, that makes the relationship and the friendship feel more real. My number 4 on this list would be JD and Turk from Scrubs. Yeah, I know, another doctor show. No one can deny that these two are the perfect platonic couple, and they're absolutely hilarious. However, the reason that they're lower on the list is because, like with House and Wilson, they were friends before the show even started. We don't really get to see their relationship develop. We know that they were roommates, and that's all we really know. They might have their small conflicts, like when JD kissed Carla, but we know that these two would never leave each other. Number 3 on my list would be from a little rom sitcom called How I Met Your Mother. Now I know what you're thinking. Is it going to be Ted and Marshall? Or Ted and Barney? Or is it going to be the underdog, Marshall and Barney? My answer? Why not all 3? Throughout the show, these 3 stick together no matter what. And while admittedly I'm a bit more partial to Ted and Marshall's relationship, I can't deny the true love between Ted and Barney. And later, Marshall and Barney become really good friends, to the point where Marshall would even do some things that Ted wouldn't even do. And Barney actually gets both Ted and Marshall a job. So there's just a lot of love between these 3. And how dare you, Netflix, get rid of not only Scrubs, but How I Met Your Mother. I went on there to watch my favorite episodes, and it was just gone. Betrayal. And number 2 on my list would be Troy and Abed in the morning. I'm really contemplating putting these 2 at number 1. I kept going back and forth, but like JD and Turk, sometimes they're a bit too perfect. Unlike JD and Turk, though, we actually get to see these 2 become friends on screen. And it's so weird how the natural progression is. They're like long-lost soulmates that discover each other. Troy was really the first person to understand Abed. And I think Abed really helped Troy to not care about people and what they thought. No one can deny that they are a beautiful, beautiful bromance. But who could beat Troy and Abed? Number 1 on my list of top bromances is Tom and Hal from the BBC version of Being Human. If you've seen the show, you're probably thinking, why didn't you pick George and Mitchell? While admittedly George is probably my favorite character on the show, like others on this list, George and Mitchell were friends before the show started. Tom and Hal, however, oh man, they are what I consider the perfect odd couple. Hal is this very old vampire. He's strict, he's very orderly, he likes manners, and he actually developed OCD while trying to prevent himself from feeding on people. Tom, however, he's a werewolf, he's very young, he's naive at times, and he's not clean. Before Tom met Hal, he was living in the woods, just traveling around in a mobile home. So yeah, he's not really the cleanest. And they have this wonderful, like, will they or won't they kill each other? Because when they first meet, they hate each other. In fact, Tom is a vampire hunter, but when they meet, they are forced to work together. And slowly but surely, they just start to develop this wonderful relationship. They have to work through some real conflicts at times, and the chemistry between these two is just phenomenal. Like, every time I see them on screen, I smile. I can't help it. The drama's great, the comedy's great between them, and honestly, if they hadn't have been introduced into the show after certain events happened, I might have stopped watching it. And yeah, Netflix got rid of the BBC version, but not the American version. What are you doing, Netflix? Why do you hate me? So that's my top 5 list of bromances. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, if you have your own favorite bromance, and if you want to see more videos, sketches, short films, anything like that. Hit that subscribe button, like this video for me. My name's Amanda. As always, I'll see you next time.